The printer jammed again. That was 3 times in 10 minutes. The paper crumpled inside the tray, a jagged mess of white fibers. Sarah jammed her palm against the desk, the impact vibrating through the plastic casing of her laptop. She tapped the screen, opening the bank app, and stared at the numbers. The balance was lower than she had calculated, a hollow, sinking weight in her chest. Her phone buzzed against the hard surface, a sharp, repetitive vibration that cut through the silence of the room. She looked down. A notification lit up the screen. The sender was her boss. The message was 3 words: "We need to talk." She stared at the text. Her pulse jumped, drumming against the skin of her throat. She read the words once, then twice, watching the cursor blink in the empty reply field. The room felt smaller, the air thinning as the reality of the situation locked into place. Every deadline, every unpaid invoice, and every failed attempt at progress seemed to converge on that single glowing notification. She did not move. She sat frozen, caught in the wreckage of a morning that had already spiraled beyond her control. The panic did not recede. It sharpened. She needed an anchor. Her hand dropped, fingers brushing the fabric of her pocket. They closed around a smooth, cool river stone. She squeezed it until the edges pressed into her palm. The stone was solid. It was heavy. It did not vibrate with notifications or demand explanations for missed targets. It simply existed, anchored in her grip, indifferent to the digital chaos surrounding her. She pulled it out and rested it on the desk. The granite surface felt cold against her skin. She focused on that temperature, on the weight pressing down against the wood. Every time her gaze drifted back to the phone screen, she forced her attention back to the rock. It did not judge the bank balance. It did not care about the meeting. It occupied its space with absolute, unwavering permanence. Her breathing began to slow, matching the steady, unmoving presence of the stone. She leaned forward, pressing her thumb into a small groove on its side. The world was still falling apart, but for the first time in an hour, the floor beneath her feet felt like it might actually hold. The relief was not just a trick of the mind. It was data. Researchers at the University of Mild Panic had spent years documenting this phenomenon. Their findings were blunt. When the world accelerates into a blur of demands and debt, the human brain requires an object that refuses to participate. The study tracked hundreds of subjects caught in the exact loop Sarah found herself in. They discovered that while a rock cannot pay an electric bill, fix a broken engine, or draft a professional response to a hostile text, it possesses a singular, unmatched power. It stays put. It does not fluctuate. It does not require a software update or a password. The university published its findings in a manual that argued for the necessity of geological companions in every home. They categorized this as a survival strategy for the modern age. The math was simple. Every other object in Sarah's life was subject to decay, error, or failure. The printer jammed. The bank account drained. The phone buzzed with impending confrontation. But the stone? It remained exactly where it was placed, indifferent to the chaos of the hour. It offered no solution, yet it provided the only stable anchor in a room full of moving parts. The theory found its strongest evidence in the suburbs of Michigan. Meet Gary. For 3 years, Gary lived in a state of low-grade war with his office equipment. His printer was a temperamental beast, prone to jamming at the exact moment a deadline loomed. He had tried everything: firmware updates, rhythmic hitting, and tactical pleading. Nothing worked. Then, Gary adopted a granite companion. It was not a tool, it was a presence. He placed the heavy, gray slab directly on top of the printer housing. The effect was immediate. The machine did not stop jamming, but the jamming stopped mattering. Gary discovered that the granite radiated a kind of stubborn geological authority. When the red error light blinked, he looked at the stone. It sat there, unmoved by the mechanical failure. Gary began to mirror that indifference. He stopped slamming his desk. He stopped swearing at the plastic tray. He simply waited for the machine to resolve its own crisis, his hand resting on the cool, textured surface of his companion. Word of Gary's success spread through the local community, turning his home office into an unlikely site of geological pilgrimage. People started asking where he found such a reliable partner. It was not just about the rock, it was about the shift in his own pulse. Gary had found the secret. If you cannot fix the world, you can at least weigh it down until it stops spinning so fast. The success stories demanded a framework. The manual formalized this into the geological support level system, a hierarchy designed to match the intensity of a person's crisis. At the entry level, you have the pebble of patience. It is small, smooth, and easily concealed in a palm. It is intended for minor frustrations, a slow internet connection, or a rude email. You roll it between your fingers, focusing on the texture to reset your breathing. As the stakes escalate, so does the weight. The system progresses through various tiers, each increasing in density and surface area, until you reach the final, most potent category, the boulder of absolute indifference. This is not for a desk. It is for a life-altering event. It is a massive, heavy, unshakable anchor that demands respect. When a person adopts a boulder, they are making a statement that their foundation is no longer negotiable. The sheer existence of these categories brings a sense of curious hope to the reader. It transforms the feeling of being overwhelmed into a solvable engineering problem. You are no longer just failing to cope. You are simply using the wrong weight for the current level of pressure. By identifying your needs through this spectrum, you stop fighting the storm and start building a ballast to weather it. The mere act of choosing your level provides a sudden, sharp clarity, turning the chaos into something manageable. The movement quickly outgrew home offices and suburban anecdotes. It demanded a larger stage. The narrative shifts from the quirky adoption of desk stones to the hushed, cavernous halls of the International Geological Support Conference. Here, the tone discards its earlier humor, replaced by a profound and clinical solemnity. Delegates from around the globe gather in silence, each carrying a partner that has survived millions of years of tectonic pressure. They do not speak of printers or traffic jams. They speak of the crushing weight of modern existence. The pressure of current life feels like a rising tide, persistent and cold, threatening to pull the foundations from beneath the feet of every participant. In these halls, a pebble is no longer just a comfort. It is a vital tool for survival. The air is thick with the gravity of shared necessity. Every attendee understands the unspoken truth. The world is spinning too fast, and the pace of daily disaster shows no sign of slowing. As the speakers present their findings, the room narrows its collective focus. The absurdity of the concept fades away, leaving only the raw, undeniable need for an anchor. It is a desperate, quiet pursuit. They are not looking for a miracle. They are looking for something that has endured the slow grind of ages, hoping that by holding it, they might finally find the stillness required to face the next hour. Inside the main auditorium, the atmosphere teeters on the edge of hysteria. A speaker stands at the podium, presenting a paper on the structural integrity of river-worn basalt. The room is packed, yet the silence is absolute. A collective, desperate focus binds every person present. They are not merely observers, they are participants in a ritual of survival. The absurdity of the scene is undeniable. Hundreds of people clutching stones as if they were life rafts in a storm, yet nobody laughs. The tension is too high for humor. When the speaker suggests that a stone is more reliable than any modern institution, a ripple of fervent agreement moves through the crowd. This is the peak of the movement, where the line between comfort and mania blurs. People stand and hold their rocks high, a silent exhibition of geological solidarity. They are tapping into the raw, unyielding history of the Earth to compensate for their own fragile lives. It is a spectacle of human vulnerability meeting the unshakable permanence of stone. As the session concludes, the realization hits. They are all holding on to these fragments because it is the only way to prove they still exist. The conference proves that when the world becomes too loud, the only logical response is to hold on to something that has survived millions of years of pressure. The conference ends, and the silence of the hall gives way to the harsh, grinding reality of the commute. You are back in the driver's seat. The radio is playing static. The windows are fogged. You are already late for a meeting that could decide your future. Then, the dashboard pulses with a singular, hateful light. The check engine indicator glows a steady, mocking orange. Panic does not arrive as a thought. It hits as a physical contraction in the chest. The steering wheel feels slick under your palms. The car shudders, a low mechanical wheeze that promises an expensive, time-consuming catastrophe. This is the moment where the world usually collapses. Your breath catches. You start to reach for the phone to call for help, to scream, to quit. But your hand stops. It drifts into your pocket instead. Your fingers meet the cold, hard surface of the stone. You press your thumb against its uneven, jagged edge. You squeeze. The panic does not vanish. It stops expanding. The sharp, solid weight of the rock grounds the chaos. You feel the grit of the earth beneath your skin. You look at the glowing light on the dash and realize you have survived every Tuesday so far. The car is failing. The schedule is broken. But you are still here. And for this one moment, that is enough. The engine light remains on. A steady, pulsing reminder of the day's inevitable complications. You pull over, turn the ignition, and watch the dashboard fade into darkness. The silence of the car is different now. It is not the silence of fear, but of observation. You realize the absurdity of the situation. The bills are still sitting on your kitchen table. The meeting is still waiting for your arrival. The world has not slowed down to accommodate your existence. Yet, as you look at the stone resting in your palm, the frantic rhythm of your pulse begins to match the stillness of the rock. This is the quiet realization that the guidebooks promised. You are not meant to fix the universe. You are not meant to solve every mechanical failure or professional demand in a single afternoon. You are simply meant to endure. The stone does not offer solutions. It offers a point of reference. It has seen tectonic plates shift and mountains crumble, yet it remains unchanged. By pressing your skin against its surface, you inherit a fraction of that patience. You step out of the car, pocket the stone, and prepare to walk toward the next hour. The chaos is still there, but you are no longer trying to outrun it. You are simply standing your ground. You set the book down on the desk. Its pages are creased, the spine worn from use. Beside it sits the stone, a small, unassuming weight that has traveled through the day with you. The room is quiet. Outside, the world continues its frantic pace. But here, the air has settled. You look at the stone. It is just a piece of earth, forged in the deep pressure of time. Yet it holds a strange, undeniable utility. It does not speak, it does not offer advice, and it certainly does not fix the mounting pile of tasks waiting for your attention. But as you watch it, you recognize exactly what it is. A tether. You reach out and close your hand around it. The texture is familiar, the temperature cool against your skin. The next hour is waiting, filled with its own demands and uncertainties. You do not need a grand strategy or a sudden change in fortune to meet it. You only need to remain anchored. You stand up, slide the stone into your pocket, and feel the solid weight pulling you back to the present. You are ready. Let the geology do the heavy lifting while you take the first step forward.